Has your student been asked to do a video essay submission? This might be something that you've never even heard of, but in today's day and age, with modern technology and video taking over the internet, this is becoming a more and more popular requirement for students to complete in order to apply for a scholarship. So, in today's video, I'm going to share our top tips on how to create a quality video essay submission. Now, make sure you hit subscribe because every single week we release a new strategy to help families pay for college without student loan debt. Hey there, my name is Jocelyn Pearson, founder of the Scholarship System and Free Degree Lab, and that is exactly what we've been doing for nearly a decade now. In fact, our families have secured over $10.56 million to date, and we're not even done tallying the survey results. So I say that not to say, woohoo, look at us. I say this to say we have seen a lot of scholarship applications, so video essays are included in that. Now, first you might be wondering, why does my student have to submit a video essay? This seems like a lot of work, or maybe it's a little different than what you're used to. And really, we've seen two main reasons. First is sometimes they're applying to a scholarship that is related to media. So maybe they are pursuing some sort of communications degree or film. And so it's aligned with the purpose of the scholarship and the career path that they are pursuing. So think of it as some sort of portfolio. So it could be a way of showing a student's talent and therefore showing their competitiveness for a scholarship. The second reason we are seeing video essays is simply because it is just a huge tool. It is big on the web. Some scholarships are now doing some sort of competitive piece to the application. Maybe people have to vote for your submission or something like that. We don't really tend to gravitate towards those since they are somewhat based on luck, but it is still definitely a tool to use because it is so widely accepted across the web. So the other thing with video here as just simply a different requirement is that it can really show a scholarship committee your student's personality. Of course, it's a lot easier to see a student, to hear a student versus reading them. It might be a little bit more difficult to gather who they are and why they need this money from an essay. So sometimes that could be a reason for them requiring a video essay instead of a typical written essay. Now, if you're wondering where do we even find these scholarships that require video essays or any essay for that matter, then make sure you attend my free training. It's about an hour long where I give you specific strategies on where to uncover legitimate scholarships with less competition. So you can register for that at thescholarshipsystem.com/free training, or you can find the link in the description once we are done. All the important links that I'm going to reference will be in that description, so make sure that you check that out after this video. Now, comment below, has your student been asked to submit a video essay? If so, what was the essay prompt? What did they have to speak about in that video essay? Let me know in the comments below. Okay, so let's get into actually recording a video essay. So first and foremost, with today's technology, we can simply do this with our iPhone. In fact, I am actually using an iPhone with a ring light and an attached microphone in order to record this video. Now, if you go back to some older videos, you'll see the quality is a little bit less, and that one I actually use a Logitech 1080 camera. So this was an investment for me because of being online and doing so many live trainings and all of that. So it might not make sense to buy a separate camera for recording. And if that's the case, it's totally fine to use iPhones, especially these days. It is pretty amazing the quality that we can get with this technology these days. Now, in addition to setting up, which can be actually the biggest part of the effort, in addition to that, there are free apps out there for editing. So one of my favorites is iMovie. I still use iMovie to this day to edit a lot of our videos. If you want to use a paid program for Mac, ScreenFlow is what I use for kind of more advanced level editing, but that would only make sense if you or your students are actually in creating films or editing videos, something along these lines where it's going to be used more than just for this video essay. If it's just for a video essay, then I really recommend just using one of the free applications, as they are totally fine. So again, for Mac, there's iMovie, Filmora, Adobe Rush. There's always new technology. So just see whatever the computer that you or your student are using can edit the video for free. It's more than likely completely fine. So that's the main focus as far as setting up and editing. But now let's get into 5 quick tips to really make the video essay competitive. So first and foremost, follow the requirements. Video essays might have pretty particular requirements when it comes to submitting. Maybe it's the length of the video, maybe it's the file type, maybe it's instructions where to upload it. Do they want it horizontal, vertical? So make sure that your student is following any kind of specific instructions and requirements when it comes to this video essay. Secondly, I really recommend having your student brainstorm what they will say. Fully write it out. They don't have to write out a script, but for sure, bullet points with the main points of what they want to discuss, and then sub points underneath them to go in further depth. With editing, they can take a break, take a look at what they are going to say, and then come back and just remove that from the video, like this. So this is something that your students can use in order to make the content of what they are saying stronger without affecting the quality of the video, as long as they're willing to remove those awkward pauses like what I just showed you. Now, the one thing with this is make sure that your student is not reading off the script. So we don't want them clearly reading line by line, or their eyes over here or there, wherever the script is. And we want to make sure that it is just quick points to keep them in focused on the topic and speaking in order that they wanted to express their ideas. Brainstorming will make the content just flow so much better. We think that we can just kind of rattle it off, but the quality just goes up so much higher if we really focus on that framework, focus on the outline of what we are going to say. Now, for those students that are in the scholarship system, check out in step 5, we have our 3-step writing method, where we actually talk about how to get to that outline. So that would be a perfect place. And then we also have a full video in more depth than this on video essays. And for those of you that are curious about the scholarship system, you can learn more at thescholarshipsystem.com/info. Okay, my third suggestion is practice, practice, practice. It can be a little nerve-wracking to be in front of the camera. I've been doing this for years, and I still get a little nervous when I have to record a video. So I really recommend making your student do a few takes. It can take 3, 4, 5 attempts, even more, but practice will make it such better quality. If they do it once and they're pretty happy with it, ask them to do it a couple more times, because I guarantee you the quality will improve as they get more practice and get more comfortable with what they want to say and how. Now, if this is something that requires multiple people, then we absolutely need to practice to make sure that the flow feels good. Watch it in a playback, see what kind of feedback you need to give each other, but overall, we want to make sure that there is practice in there. And lastly, with the practice runs, this is a great opportunity for parents. You can review the video quickly just to make sure that your student is indeed following any kind of rules, regulations, requirements before they really finalize that last recording. Now, my fourth suggestion is to focus on lighting. So like I mentioned earlier, I actually use a ring light if the lighting is low. The best light, however, is natural lighting. If your student can sit facing a window and just have that natural light on their face, then that is going to be the softest and best lighting that they can use. So I really recommend using that as a setup if you don't have a ring light. If you do, then great, they can use that as well. And the other thing to watch is for shadows. So the nice thing about the ring light is it goes all the way around, so you don't typically have shadows, but they can even just make sure that the natural lighting is not casting any shadows in on their face. For example, if the iPhone is, or their phone camera is in front of them in the way of the video, is it casting a shadow on their face from the lighting? So just some things to keep an eye out for. This won't make or break the video, but having high quality lighting really does improve things. Now, I'll go ahead and link in the description to our favorite ring light. You can actually get them pretty affordably now, so we'll just go ahead and put a link in the description to the one that we use. Now, my last suggestion is to make sure that the audio is strong. So this might be a matter of ordering a microphone or making sure that the phone is close to us so that it can easily catch our voice, whatever we can do to try and improve the quality of the sound. But also we don't want any background noise. We don't want the dog barking or siblings running around yelling, whatever it needs, whatever we need to do to make sure that that background audio is clean, and that way the committee can really focus on what the student is saying rather than being distracted by anything going on in the background noise. But going off of audio, beyond other things making noise, we also want to sound clear ourselves. So try to enunciate, don't mumble. Again, this is where that practice comes in. This is where that script comes in so that we can feel confident and just easily flow through what we want to say. So making sure that your student is just using typical public speaking skills when creating this video submission. For some students, they might love public speaking and this might be way easier than writing. However, many students are not comfortable with public speaking, so it will take some practice here. Now, one other thing I want to point out is that actually your student might be able to check out equipment from their local library or the school in order to improve their sound. They might have a microphone that a student can check out, or even a camera or lighting. I wouldn't go too crazy for a scholarship video essay, but still, if it's easy to just check out from the library and it improves the quality, why not? It can also be a great experience for just learning how to use the technology, especially for those that are going into this kind of field, then it's a great opportunity here. So try to maximize that. Okay, so there you have it. I gave you suggestions as far as my equipment and some video editing apps. We also gave you 5 suggestions that can improve the quality of your students' video essay. And again, if you are curious where students can find video essay submissions or scholarships that require any kind of essays so that your student can really sell themselves, make sure you attend our free training. You can go to thescholarshipsystem.com/free training, or you can find the links in the description. And last but not least, don't forget to hit subscribe again, because we release a new video to help your family pay for college without student loan debt every single week. All right, I'll see you in the next video.